So I did Natafuta then, you know. So Natafuta was my second solo, my first ever video.
Yeah.
Natafuta was one of my best songs. Natafuta is what won me my Kora award for the best male artist in East Africa then. So that was 2004.
Angima mora ni kasa idonyara to onge ngama chanda onge ngama buoga onge anyone in the world manyalo roda Natafuta mazimoja anayeniramba manzi kitu mwende ndanda mwenye fikra maana mabamba nikimpata jampe Natafuta mazimoja anayeniramba manzi kitu mwende ndanda mwenye fikra maana mabamba nikimpata jampe.
So that was like one of my best years. You know, I'd just done the collab with the Money and Patoni, which was in Ogopa.
Oh, that was huge. Hey, yes, dude, you can't even just skip over that one. Hey, what is that song again?
Let me walk with you, talk to
It's the beast from the east.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the beast from the east. Amani Patoni, nice and slowly. Ogopa DJ. Let me walk with you, talk to you, know how you feel. Songa karibu mpenzi wangu, you're so sexy.
Lota basamu kila siku juu yako.
Songa karibu mpenzi wangu, you're so sexy.
So that's the time, that was like my good career year. At the vibe, I'd gotten my pivot, my stability, like in terms of writing where I wanted to go. Then that's the time there was the whole.
Wait, first of all, how did that song come across?
Oh,
or were you just called to drop a verse, or what happened?
Talk to You was oh yeah. Now this is the time I used to hang out with Lucas a lot. Now the producer, as I told you, now I didn't have another. I told you most of the time it's Lucas because he knew when we started. Then of course E-Sir, then the K-Rupt issue, then I had of course Nameless. So this when we were doing it. Then now if it's anything to do with music, I'd go to Lucas. So I just used to hang out, like he'd play for me songs. You get, like, as a point, me and Lucas were really close. Like really, like I'd go to his house, I knew his kids now, because now that's the only a person who I can look up to, who understands me. You get, because I'd never worked with any other producer, so I don't know how it is to work with anyone else. So this is the person who I know in terms of music. So that's how so when it came to that song, so they kept on telling me now, like when someone has written like a good song, like wow, wewe unalala, nani has written another song over here. So that would used to give me pressure. I think even he knew what I was going through in terms of I don't have anyone to whatever. So it used to be his way of trying to give me psych to go. It's like, nani have written another song, you unalala to go and write, you get. So it gives me psych to go write, because I needed someone to skuma me, you get. So he doesn't give me psych, he said go and write, you know. So we play, it's like, hey, you're like this song, like I want to be in this song, Ebu writer here, like in this track. So I remember I just had the instrumental, like I had the instrumental first, and like, Lucas, I want this instrumental. Then it's like, no, but this is not your style. It's like, no, but I want it so nice and smooth, you know, like I just want to bounce with it. It's like, but it's already someone's. Like, it's a man's and this new guy called Patoni. You get? It's like, okay, but I want you to write a verse. So I write for him like a verse you've written. It's like, wow, super fire.
How did that verse go again?
Nani wewe wafanya moyo wangu dunde kwa masekunde ni kama nimefunga dude. That one.
Yeah.
That's like dope. So that as well. So I had Natafuta out, you know, which has won the best male artist in East Africa.
And at this time, who shot the video for Natafuta? Ogopa. Now Ogopa is venturing into videos.
Ogopa is venturing into videos. And you see, and I'm the Ogopa baby. Now I'm the last. Now this before Akina Avril have come in. I think I was the last one, us and Klepto.
Yeah.
You see, so I was the only solo because Klepto was now more of a group, you know. So that's when. So I remember all these videos were being shot at Nameless's house. Manzi, thank you, David Mathenge. If there's a guy who's held down for the industry, this guy. So this is the era video now. I think Nameless had done Juju. Juju was big, you know. Videos were the in thing. Now, if you don't have a video, now you need to, you know, on a good video. So Ogopa has entered into videos. So he shot the video at Nameless's house. Natafuta shot at Nameless's house, and I mean, even if you look at the video, like, even looked shy. Like, I don't know what to do, whether to look at the camera, like, tell me, act, like, sing it, like, you know, like, let these chicks dance, look at her, like, it was, now it was, I'm entering a different dimension again, you know, into music. But now that's what's popping. So I'm dressed up, I'm in my fugu, of course, I'm in my fat farm, so that's what I'm rocking. The video shot, we did like a couple of times. It's edited. I had no idea. I never used to follow up because mostly the label now Ogopa used to do that. They follow up on it. Then that was also in Ogopa. I mean, it was in Ogopa 3. Remember, Natafuta was in Ogopa 3 together with Talk to You as well. So I was like the main artist. Like in Ogopa 2 was my Ogopa 1 was my intro, but featuring E-Sir in Joe. Then Ogopa 2 was now my personal intro as BIGPIN, now with these other songs. Then in Ogopa 3, now I'm like the main artist of the album.
Who else was like on Ogopa 3?
Ogopa 3 had Tattoo.
Oh man.
Ogopa 3 had Talk to You Now with the Money. Ogopa 3 was now, it was like we're entering a new dimension. It had Masimaira in the album. It had it has some instrumentals for Ogopa. He was doing his Ogopa and
I remember.
thingies. Yeah, I think Bad Boy was Bad Boy in
with
that
featuring Nyash.
Yeah, I think it had Bad
Did
Boy.
it have Swing Swing?
No, Swing Swing was in Ogopa 2.
Okay.
Swing Swing was Swing Swing in Ogopa. Swing Swing was in
in the album. I know it was in the album, definitely.
It was in the,
what is it? But the other one, the other big Klepto song, Tuendele ama tusiende.
Tuendele came at the perfect time. Tuendele came at the time for the beef. And I remember, now this when Klepto, now they're done. Are they done Swing Swing? Yes, they're done Swing Swing. They're done Swing Swing. They're done Freak It. Swing Swing was big. Then there were the hip hop guys for. Then the hip hop was becoming big even in the streets now. You get now proper hip hop. Because that's our hip hop was different. Me and E-Sir hip hop was the Tupac hip hop where it was the streets, but we left the streets. So, you know, it's not in a bad
your
way.
hip hop was Jarul.
Yeah, so our hip hop was Jarul. So us guys wanted to associate more with chicks, but now this other new Nini of hip hop had come, and Klepto had it perfectly because they could do both. They could sing, they had the swing, they could sing about the shoulders, but they could go hard as well. So they were perfect. You get
Klepto's, for me, Klepto's Badoniko is one of the best.
Tell me, till today.
Till
today. I keep even saying, hey, yo, Wapenda, what's the penda? It was a killer. And that was the time I remember there was the beef of
Kapuka.
Beef of Kapuka now. Now this is where now we are. Now Ogopa, I mean, we were running all the shows. We have all the gigs. I used to have like 4 or 5 gigs a weekend. Like all the gigs are coming in. Then this around now that time is when now we were hearing. I was hearing the competition. Kina Jua, Kina Nini. Now we had them definitely, but now we don't need now meet them. But now videos have started coming out. You get so videos started coming out. So me already shot my Natafuta video. People have seen. People know how you look.
Yes.
People put out because all these songs which you're doing, Kina BIGPIN, Kina Joe,
no
Kina
videos.
Leo, there's no video. But now people you have video. Now that's the time we started knowing
how
these guys look. Yeah, how Juakali looks like. You know, we were hearing him on the street like these guys have a different thing now. It's more of the hood, but in their own way, you know. So them, they had their own thing now, which was cool, you know. We're just like, hey, it's interesting. Like he's talking, but he's not talking. I remember discussing it. Then now there's this a beef for now the hip hop, Kina Chihuahua, Kina Wodis, Kina K South. Now there's the beef for Kina Susan Kibukosi and Samawati is popping. That's the time also the beef for Ogopa artists is popping. Because guys are leaving stables, Redstone I think has left, Googs and Vinny Bantle have started their own label, Badman Camp is on with Nini. So that's the beefed era. You get? So we're in a beef era now. So everyone is trying to get a slice of the pie. You get? In their own way. So you have Caliph, who them they're just doing their own thing the different way. It's catchy. It's nice. Then there is now we have the veterans. Kina
Audio Vault. What can I necessarily is two now?
Yeah, Kina Audio Vault now. That's what I'm saying. Now the
OGs.
The OGs. Kina Senois are coming back. Now them they're more arranged. You know, they know, you know, there's an album, Audio Vault is doing its thing, you know. Ogopa, yes, is still on steroids, but now the internal beef, as guys know, the internal beef is happening then.
Yeah. What was the internal beef about? Money?
No, it was a mixture of so many things because different artists had different reasons on why, you know. And remember, I was still an Ogopa baby then. So I just used to hear, and it's like, that's their own story. You know, you don't want whatever. So by the time I was getting to know of it, it's like Nani has left. Why? Because everyone has his own reason. Oh, these guys made more money and they didn't pay us this. Then the other issue was, then Ogopa at the same time they're like, yeah, but we produced for you these songs for free. We did whatever. There's supposed to be a percentage. So when you're going for shows, let it be an Ogopa so that it's more of a stable. No, but it's my song, it's my show.
I get, okay.
So everyone is moving out. You're like me out my album. Everyone has pressure for the album. Nameless was there. His album needs to be out. Clipter is on fire. Me, I'm there. Where's my album? I'd already recorded the Tera Mosses. I'd already recorded.
Big one.
Yeah, Tera Moss. I'd already recorded Henteba. You know, I recorded another song called June Bat. Then I recorded like 5 songs. So even me, like my album is almost ready. Nameless's album, where Nameless wants his album also, you know. So Lucas has pressure. Nameless wants his album, it needs to be done. I want my album. Klepto is on fire. They want their album. Amani wants her album, you know. The shows, there's so much, you know, so he has so much pressure. He didn't know it was going to turn out to, I don't even think Ogopa and E was going to turn out to be that big.
Yeah.
It was a dream, yes, but it got too big too fast. So people didn't understand where he wanted to go to also, because it's like, yeah, but it's my, you know, let me go do my, you get. So all that was, people didn't understand the music policy, what are royalties, what percentage goes to who, and what, like, it was, everyone was learning everything then, you know. So, I mean, then there's new things now happening. Now there's social media coming in, there's Facebook, you know, now there's, guys are trying to get endorsements, trust. So there's money coming in, but there's no structure on, so everyone is just moving their own ninis, you get. Yeah. So the pressure is so much now built into one person. He couldn't manage having all those people demanding, and all these are big artists.
And they're all creatives.
And they're all creatives. These are all big artists at that time, and they're all creatives. And they're all the people who are making a name. Nameless is here, Wahoo is here, me, I'm here, I want my album, Klepto's album done. There's still some issue with the E-Sir album. They still have Ogopa 1, 2, and 3, how the royalties being, it was just a mixture. It was too much. It couldn't go down to the books. So that's where the issues started coming. So guys are like, yeah, then now the older artists who are big then are feeling that Lucas is taking too much time with their songs and concentrating on the younger artists. Now us guys, the Kleptos. So Googs and developers are like, no, Akina Mustafa, the Vultures. Remember they were the you know.
Dude, Ogopa was a beast.
Yeah, they were big then. Kina Mona Lisa big, whatever is, you know. So he has too much pressure. That's what I feel. I feel he couldn't handle.
What?
You know, everyone has one thing, me want a thing, these guys want to do their own whatever. Everyone wants a song. You can't be keeping these songs for a year now. Everyone wants a song because the industry is opening up. So that's when now all the movement. Then his beef happening also here in the streets with now guys calling artists for Ogopa that
Kapuka.
Yeah, Kapuka this, Kapuka that.
You were, but it worked.
Yeah, yes, we were. And you see, so it even entered, because at first we were scared, it's only us being targeted, then we also saw the targeting Akina Waire and Nesai Noise and everyone else. We're just like, these guys are just not targeting at a specific, they're just targeting everyone. Us guys are not hip-hop guys, You know, so there are diss tracks coming kidogo back and forth. Then Klepto just came with, because now they were dissing Ogopa. Like when we had to Tuendelee, it's like the whole Ogopa was back to Klepto. It's like, whoo, my niggas, you saved us, man. Because Lucas was against anything to do with beef.
Yes.
It's like, I don't want beef.
Yeah.
Because beef will make the other person bigger.
Yeah.
And if you're bigger than them, why do you make the beef? But us guys are dying. We're like, let's write, man. Let's diss these guys. When we can't write, telling us no. So we were limited to write. We want to write and diss back, but we can't. Because Lucas is like us, no, if you diss back, you're being lower. You know, like you're making him bigger. You're making so don't diss back. And if you're doing it, do it well.
Yeah.
Do it
in a sharp way.
Exactly. If you're doing it, do it in a sharp way. Don't do it how they want you to do it. So when Klepto did Tuendelee is a diss track, but it's a diss track which plays in the club. Are you seeing the difference? Until today, as we speak, that line is used by almost all artists in Kenya.
Exactly.
Tuendelee ama tusiendelee.
That's true.
So you see, so whatever Lucas was saying is like, if you're doing it, do it well. That was a good whatever. You see, and so everyone was just behind Klepto, was just like, yes, because it wasn't a diss song aimed for one person. It was a diss song for everyone who was against us. You get? So it was, you know, so that was the beef era, and that era was nice. But us guys were never in the beef. We were never engrossed really in the beef. After Tuendelee, then we started inking. I remember E-Sir did his way a bit earlier, even before. Same thing how, like I had his game with lyrical tongue twister. It was sort of like a beef thing, you know. But then, so I came back. So Natafuta is doing well, as I said. So I've done my Talk to You, which is also popping. I've done Benteba, so that's when I did my tour for my Stato tour now. You know, so I did my tour my tour was long. Like us guys, like our tours used to be long. It used to be like for 6 months. I remember like I was there for a whole year. But because I had family there as well. So I did my tour. I was thinking of, did school as well. I wanted to be a pilot at the same time. I was considering, I was confused in my career choice. You get? It's like, okay, like, is this a phase I was going through? Like, should I, whatever, but I love this, you know, but now I need to be responsible. I need to look for money, you know, I need to, you know, like I've already moved out, I'm ready, whatever, but I need to go to a next phase in my life, you get. So I started to think about things in a different way. Then I think that's the point where the industry went down again. That's the point, is like guys were not releasing. I'd left Ogopa, I'd done, after that I did my song with Sana. Sana, you.
I wanna spend the rest of my life with nataka tuwe na family and you nataka tuishi nawe pamoja, we're all together forever and ever.
I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Nataka tuwe na family and you nataka tuishi nawe pamoja, we're all together forever and ever. It's you. I wanna spend the rest of my life.
I did Ilete. That was just before I did my tour now. Ilete, yeah. So the song which I did for then I was doing my tour. Like I was comfortable, you know. I was having my shows everywhere because I was still leaning on all my hits from way before, plus I had new ones. So I just got comfortable, got to a point I was just like, okay, let me rephrase, restructure, come do things professionally, get a new sound, get new vibes. I've really fast-forwarded that story, by the way. Where am I fast-forwarded?
I don't know.
I've really fast-forwarded it. Where was I? There's so much is missing out. Yeah. But you see, the chunk of my story is there.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I mean, because it's such a huge part in Kenyan history. Yeah? Let's call a spade a spade. Like, it's very difficult to sort of replicate that, because of the magnitude of which you guys were doing things.
It was just an amazing, it was like, and then everything was new for everyone. So it was a try, test, experience, okay, no. So it was like such a good time because everyone was acceptive of any, as long as it has good vibe and it has value and it just sounds, it has, I don't know.
There was too much happening.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the explosion of radio
Yes.
in terms of now youth entering
exactly.
there. The introduction of videos.
Of
You get what I
videos,
mean?
exactly.
That's another crazy thing. The introduction of the internet. The
Internet,
introduction of a middle class generation who can,
who can come in
exactly
to
the
need
introduction of money
YouTube.
into the industry.
Into the industry.
So I mean, for you to replicate that, those are moments that happen once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah, true.
You can't sort of like replicate it again. They happen once in a lifetime, and they completely shift the angle. Kenya was one of the biggest countries in Africa when
were.
it came to music. Definitely biggest in Eastern Africa.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
You know what I
Tanzania, I mean, Tanzania is, we used to go, our gigs.
Tanzania needs to come here.
Exactly. We used to do all our big shows in TZ, UG, Europe, France, Belgium. Like, that's where we were doing our gigs. Like, it was big. It was big then. It was just, I just feel it was the best time to be.
Yeah.
Like, to be in. It was the time when there's so much. I think that's how revolutions happen. It was a time when everything was just happening and you just needed to be there and to be a part of it. And, it's like just unfolding a new chapter of music and, like the music industry and the sound in Kenya. Because all of a sudden, everything just came back to whoa,
Exactly. And even it's good to see the Nyashes back in the industry, and
Exactly,
now even Nameless Monsky coming, sort of like reinventing himself
Exactly.
over and over again. Kolo, you get.
Exactly.
So let me ask you, and I think this would, even though we've skipped,
Yeah.
I think for me this is nice because it's like, okay, fine.
That
Was then. We felt BIGPIN there. We are thankful for you for what you did for the industry. So, where's BIGPIN now? Or where's BIGPIN? What should we expect? We're going into 2019. You get, like, tell us now.
Well,
Are you still
this is
in
actually
game?
like a good time because you see that feeling which I was telling you about, of that energy we had of we are writing, we hang out together. Starting now from the E-Sir time to the Klepto time to how now, like our culture, we used to have this culture of we'll just meet and people just drop bars. Any setting like we'd just be like, guys just dropping bars. And that's the time I was hanging out with Klepto a lot, hence Nyash. And it was just bars, and it was a good time. That's the time I was also now really getting the bubbly on and whatnot. Then of course, as I said, then guys, I think just chilled, everything. Like, guys got confused, like, this is too much, it needs to take a break fast. So guys come back and look at things in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think in the middle of this break is when guys say, but you guys used to do better than TZ guys. How comes now? How comes Nigerians used to? How comes?
Yeah.
I think during that break, we had already taught those guys already. They already knew, like, we were their learning.
Exactly.
We were their learning curve.
Yes.
Because they did whatever, so they just knew what to take and what to pick.
Yes.
The good things to pick, not the mistakes. They just picked the good things and just worked on them and came and filled this space nicely. You get, as we were trying to reconfigure, okay, what's happening, but as I was saying, that feeling we had then, that's the kind of feeling like I'm sort of having now. That aura, like I feel like that aura is back. It's not as intense, but I feel like that aura is back and it's coming back. I kid you not, the next 2-3 years, I think our music will be on a different level, on a level where guys will be like, okay.
I mean, it's already started happening.
It's already happening.
If you look at the Calligraph Jones, if you look at the Sauti Souls, if you look at the Nyash,
think of everyone, all these new guys, Kina Christoph, Kina Peony who came of their own story, Calligraph Jones, as he's saying. We have Fena, we have like the Blinky Bills, you have like the industry, you have like the industry is popping. And this is a good time because everyone has a whole different vibe and everyone is appreciating, because everyone is just like, okay, where are we now? And hence this whole story of which this argumentation never ends of what is the Kenyan sound? Was it Kapuka? Who changed the Kenyan sound? I think the Kenyan sound now is you can't bring that thing, you can't use that as a stature of, that's why you're not relevant. Because sound is, the sound has changed.
Yeah.
Sound is different now. Even Drake is doing kapuka. Nani is doing with this. So you can't use that in this.
Naibo is no longer singing.
Naibo is no longer singing.
I mean, no longer rapping.
You know, so let's not use sound. Now it's just good music. I think Kenyans will just appreciate good music. South Soul is doing well. They have good music. Hashinsky is doing well. He has good music. Calligraph is doing well. He has good music. Whoever you can name, you know, Christoph, all these new guys, Fena, name it. Just think about anyone who's popping right now. That's the kind of industry we need right now. So
where's BIGPIN's place in all of this?
In all of this, that's what I'm saying. This is what I feel.
Are you in the studio? Are you making music? Are you going to drop some videos?
Videos, yeah, a couple. So now, as I was saying, this the feeling I'm getting now. It's come back to that thing. There's that energy, there's that vibe, there's that. Now it's more structured. You know, royalties. You need a manager. There's things are well arranged. You know, there's YouTube, there's social media. You know, there's internet, of course, which is, you know, so we're in a good place, and there's that vibe. So we're in a good place. So I mean, once a musician, always a musician, yes. So BIGPIN is coming back, or BIGPIN is back, if I may say. I've been doing a couple of writing. I've done a couple of jams. My album is basically almost done. This album features a diverse. It's a different, like this album. What I've done in this album is what I've written is what I'm feeling at that time. There's no structure. There's no this one I'm writing for these people. I'm just writing what I'm feeling at the time is what I'm just writing on my element. So I've done a couple of collabs with this album. The first single of the album was Ginene, which I released 2 months ago. I think this week actually I'm releasing a song with Christoph as well.
Nice.
Move It. So it's a whole different generation, a whole different vibe. I have done a song with Mayonde as well, which is coming out.
Nice.
D.
You ain't interview D.
D. I've done a song with Yashinsky and Nameless.
Sweet.
As well.
That's like your first official collab with Nameless, huh?
No, I've done a collab with Nameless.
Which one?
Wildlife.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Dude! How did you leave out Wildlife from this story?
That is in Nameless's error. Like me, my story is in errors.
I know,
like,
but dude, no, hold on, man.
So yeah, Wildlife. Oh, okay. Let me talk about the collabs. I did Wildlife in Nameless's album. I did Sichimbiki in M4E in Kleptomaniac's album.
What?
I did whose album did I? Oh, I mean, out of the Ogopa albums, out of the old school albums, yes. I featured in Nameless's Wildlife, and I featured in. I think if there's an artist who's been in almost all Ogopa albums,
we're looking at him.
It's me.
We're looking at him right
Think
now.
Think about it. By the way, I was in Ogopa 1 in Joe. I was in Ogopa 2 in BIGPIN. I was in Ogopa 3 with Natafuta and Talk to You. I was in E-Sir's album, Nimefika, in 2 songs, Bamba and Joe. I was in Nameless's album On Fire with Wildlife. I was in Kleptomaniac's album Sichimbiki. That's the last album for Ogopa. Which Ogopa ever produced. There's no other album. So I've been in all albums. Shoot.
Man, you're the real OG.
Wow. That's some real shit, man.
You're just finding out now.
Yeah, even it's just hitting me now. But just look at what? Yeah, that's quite a resume.
It is, man.
So that's what I'm up to now.
So, and in terms of producers, have you gone back to the old school and hit some new school?
Yes, I've tried to have a balance of both. I'm still working with Lucas. He didn't do full production, but I'll go to him to mix and master and just, get some structure on it in a couple of songs. So I've worked with Lucas.
Has he produced any song?
He's producing one. Okay. He has produced one actually. He has one song. I've worked with iLogos. I've worked with Sedo. I've worked with Magic Senga. I've worked with Jack on the Beat. I've worked with Jegede production. Collabos, those as I've mentioned. Oh, I've done a track with Naiboy. Whoa. Fena. Yeah.
Dude, that sounds like it's going to be a banging album. Have you titled it?
It's called Jatelo Chronicles.
Nice.
Yes, Jatelo Chronicles. So the second single comes out in a couple of months. So there's one I'm dropping this week. We are dropping this week. It's Christoph featuring BIGPIN as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done a couple of collabs. There's some new songs coming out, people. So that's where I am. That's where BIGPIN is.
Parting shot. Last thing to say.
I don't know what to say, man. It's just the industry. I mean, the industry is interesting. The industry is big. I think what I'd urge us artists and Kenyans as a whole is to embrace and support local music. Come for shows, buy albums on YouTube. I mean, on iTunes and download. But just generally support local music. Local music is dope. Kenyan music is on another level. Artists are doing the best to give best quality videos, best quality audios, best quality vibes, best quality entertainment. Look at what Vera and Hanyee are doing. You know, that's entertaining. You know, there's a lot which is going on. There's the gospel industry now. You know, from that, remember, there's still the gospel industry. There's the music industry. We have, you know, there's so much happening, and it's all because of us. So I feel like we should not, us as Kenyans and musicians in all aspects, radio presenters, people of TV shows, DJs, the whole aspect of music is everyone has their own space. Let's all help each other grow. I think that's be the best thing for us. For us to all grow. I think we've all understood that we all need each other. We all need each other. So for us to grow, let's support each other in every way. I think that's what I'd like to say. And watch out for Jatelo Chronicles, of course, for sure. For Sheezy, it's your boy, the Beast from the East, aka BIGPIN Jatelo. You can follow me on Instagram at BIGPIN Jatelo. My Facebook page is BIGPIN Kenya. My Twitter is BIGPIN Jatelo. My YouTube channel is BIGPIN Jatelo. Let's do this again. It's 2018, baby. 1.
Too fresh. Subscribe.
Subscribe, my nigga.